So in this episode, we're dealing with the aftermath of the last episode, which I'm a huge fan of the last episode. I think the last episode should definitely have existed in the first place. Everything is sad. People are sad. We're supposed to care. I don't know how we're supposed to care about all these characters. We didn't know these characters because they were extras. You hired some extras, and these are the people who are dying. And what are you doing? What is this? Are you touching your forehead? What are you doing? Who died that you give a f died? Because you're not doing that over Karini's death. Steppen is still alive. He's carrying Karini. Well, he's carrying a dummy. And now that I said that, you won't be able to unsee it. The king of Gildan got 0 development. And now he's getting like respect. Whatever. What you got to keep in mind is every time Rafe every time he does something like this, he's replacing something from the books that could have been there instead. In this episode, we are going to be dedicating a goodly sum of the screen time to this character, Steppen, and his depression over his Isedai being killed in battle. But how entertaining is that to watch? First of all. Second of all, didn't fucking happen in the book. Steppen should have killed himself trying to avenge his Isedai. And then we would have gotten everything that you're trying to give us about that subject in like a 4-second long scene. Whoa, wait, hold on a second. This chick right here, they showed her singing, so now you're stuck with it. Anytime there's singing in the music, you gotta have her going, but you didn't do that here. Now it just looks silly. It looked silly before, but now it looks way more silly.
May the last embrace of the mother welcome you.
That's the thing. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine. Whatever. Whatever. May the last embrace of the mother welcome you home is a Borderlander send-off, but whatever. Guess you just get to do whatever you want. Cherry pick and choose all the different things that you liked about the fucking books and just use them wherever you want. It doesn't matter. There's no rules. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm over it. Moiraine really just didn't try to find the Two Rivers people. And you know what's almost worse? Nynaeve doesn't seem to give a fuck either. Like, this is a month later. Dude, this is a month. It's a month. It's a month later, and they still...
You think the other 4 are already there?
If they are, we'll find them. And if they aren't, well, we'll find them.
I know I've already said it, but let me just remind everybody once again. The people who are lost right now, Moiraine is convinced that one of them is the Dragon Reborn. And, well, the world depends on the Dragon Reborn defeating the Dark One. So you kind of don't want the Dark One to get his hands on that person, right? Wouldn't that be kind of bad? There are no other things that can be more important than that. Everything is just... You didn't even leave. You're just like, you know what? They'll probably be in Tarval when we get there. What could happen? It's only a month. A lot can happen in a month. In the book, it is Moiraine's top priority. She is obsessed with it. Every second that gets wasted is frustrating for her. Her and Lan hardly even give themselves enough time to rest. And Moiraine finds them relatively soon. Like Matt and Rand, Perrin and Egwene, they all meet up in Caemlyn, and they get separated at Shadar Logoth. Let's take a look. Let's see where that is. Walking from Shadar Logoth to Caemlyn on foot would likely take 10 to 14 days under normal conditions in the Wheel of Time world. This is where I would have started the episode. Steppen leading Karini's horse. Can a horse be vacant? Whatever. The saddle doesn't have her in it. This right here is all we needed to know that something crazy went down in the taking of Logain. You've got Steppen leading a riderless horse. He's got the ring around his neck. And then you see Logain completely destitute, in chains. And if you set this up beforehand by showing him in the cage looking all like proud like a king, being led through the city and people are throwing shit at him and everything, but he doesn't let it fucking bother him like he does in the book. That's him while he still has the power. This is him after he's been gentled. Dude, that's visual storytelling, okay? That's what that is. So now you don't have to have that entire last episode. There you go. Now you can use that hour on something that matters. You give it a couple of lines and you've saved yourself an hour. Like, this is easy. This is easy, dude. The story's already there. And you have a comic book. And you have Brandon Sanderson's notes, and you have an expert. You have no excuse.
Is she ready for what's waiting in the White City?
They do not call it the White City. You are ripping that off of Lord of the Rings. That's Gondor. This is the White Tower. You got the wrong book series, okay? You are the guy. It's fine. Somebody's wearing a cloak. Matt specifically goes easy on kids. Kids make him lighten up. So having him snap at a little kid like that, you probably think, oh yeah, well, that's how much it's affecting him. No, what you're communicating when you have Matt lighten up with kids is that Matt is still in there. He hasn't fully been taken over yet. And the guy that's still in there, Matt, is a good person. You need him to be a good person because he's going to help save the world. They should have had him snap at a grown up. That's all I'm saying.
Mate, you're right.
Mate, you're right. Right, that bollocks in the mate and the fucking, the piss. The fucking bloody. Dude, they have their own lingo. They talk. I want to give some props to the people who made this visual. That's pretty accurate. If you look at a map of Tar Valon, I'm pretty happy with this visual. Like, this is pretty good.
Blood and ashes.
Now, was that so fucking hard, Rafe? Now go back and make Matt say that like 100 times.
What is it? Don't know. It tastes good though.
No. Tom told me about this place. No, he didn't. When did Tom tell you about any place in Tar Valon?
The Inkeeper was an old friend of his.
And we don't get to meet the Inkeeper either. They just go in there and then they have a room.
I can't believe a night here is more expensive than a month in the ones we're in.
Why didn't you do the Inkeeper?
That's what she said.
Why didn't you make the Inkeeper a character? What did you cut him to make room for? I want answers.
Tell me again. A little girl on the farm.
It wasn't you. Tom and I both saw it.
Tom's not here. Tom's dead.
Yes. Matt does say something like that in the book. Congratulations, you paid meaningless lip service to another line from the book and shoehorned it in there, just kind of jammed it in there.
Now please believe me, it was the Fade. You would never hurt that little girl.
Correct. Matt would never hurt that little girl. Never, ever, ever, ever. Which is why none of that should happen in the book.
This is the safest place in the tower to stay away from the sisters we traveled with.
Why do you need to stay away from the sisters that you traveled with? They are fellow Isedai. Moiraine is acting like they're Black Aja. Spoilers, one of them, yes, is. But she doesn't fucking know that yet.
I told you, I care about my people.
Okay, now she cares about her people. A month later, when they're probably already dead. It's fine, whatever.
I have eyes and ears watching every gate and every wall in the city. If they've arrived, I'll know.
Well, there you go. The existence of the eyes and ears confirmed, which is really bad for the White Cloaks, because that means that the eyes and the ears would be reporting on the fact that sisters have been killed. I counted 7 rings on Valda's chain. So that's a war between the Aes Sedai and the White Cloaks.
And when news spreads of your presence here, which it will, you'll be expected to become a novice immediately.
Yeah, Nynaeve is really powerful. She has the potential to become the most powerful Aes Sedai since the breaking of the world. So Moiraine definitely wants her as a novice. Why would she be saying things that would scare her off? The common folk already fear and distrust the Aes Sedai. Why would you feed into that? Moiraine herself is an Aes Sedai. Why would she be...
And if you're not careful, those tower politics will eat you alive.
Yeah, no. The Aes Sedai of the White Tower do not involve novices in their politics and scheming. They're in training. They are studying the One Power. They are learning the history of the Aes Sedai. They're in classrooms. And when they're not in classrooms, they're doing chores and shit. Stop adding your own stuff. You are not good at that. Stop it.
It's time to stop!
You reached out and you touched the source.
You touch the sauce? Bruh. Don't touch the sauce. Oh, cool. More of the Tinkers.
It's a little hypocritical, you know, preaching non-violence and letting your pet slaughter anything you come across.
Violence is in us all. The way of the leaf isn't about denying that, it's about accepting it.
Nuh-uh. The way of the leaf is about not doing any harm, you fuck. And just so you know, in the book, the dogs follow the way of the leaf too.
If they don't wish to go with you, you can't have them.
How exactly do you plan on stopping me?
Oh, they're gonna lock arms. God, I hate this actor. Okay, I take it back. I like him now. Oh, he's my new favorite character. Definitely shouldn't be laughing at that. Definitely going to hell for that.
You can cover the light with the palm of a child's hand, but a leaf, even if you crush it, bury it, burn it, it becomes part of the earth and the air.
What? I guess she's saying that you can never get rid of them because the way of the light will always exist. Actually, their belief system is pretty niche. Most people find it stupid. Like, yeah, there's always going to be hippies, I guess, but I mean, whatever. It's like nobody cares.
We can't just leave them.
White cloaks may be bastards, but they won't kill Tuatha Ann.
Really? These white cloaks? Okay then.
I didn't even hear you come in.
Stay back!
Oh dear.
Why does he have a blonde beard? Why is his hair blonde and curl? Here you go, guys. This is woke loyal. Loyal woke. Okay, look on the bright side. The things that are coming out of Loyal's mouth are things that Loyal would say. Actually, they are things that Loyal kind of did say in Camelin, where he's supposed to be. So I guess we should be overjoyed by that.
My first day in Tarvalon, I could not believe the uproar.
Yeah. I'm just going to point out the vocal effect for Loyal.
My first day.
Which is really shitty. It's so bad. You can hear it. It's fine.
Steady. You're an ogre.
Ogier.
Okay. There's no such thing as ogres in this world, but there are such thing as ogier. And nope, that's I'm not going on another rant. Yeah, so Loyal's also just like a normal sized dude. He's barely taller than Rand, and he's clearly wearing platforms. I don't know, dude. Whatever.
Loyal, son of Aran. And who are you?
Rand?
You know, the guy who plays Rand al'Thor is actually quite bad. He's a very bad actor. What's his stupid name? Is it really Joshua? Oh no, yeah, Joshua Stradowski. Joshua Stradonsky.
Why would the travels of Jane Farstrider make you sad?
A girl I know used to read this book every day. Thought she was Jane herself reincarnated.
Jane Farstrider is a man. Idiot!
I forget how frivolous you humans can be with your thoughts.
I'm so creeped out. It's like if a murderer came in, like killed somebody you know, and then started puppeteering them in front of you. This is the bad place. This is weird. I don't like it. I never realized how much I love Loyal until I saw him destroyed. You know, to see him sock puppeted and race swapped and small and that crappy vocal effect. All that together is just like, I feel sick, dude. It makes me sad. It makes me sad and it makes me mad at the same time.
Always in such a rush, these humans.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Whatever, dude. What's with the fucking drummer girls? Stop making shit up! You suck at doing that! Dude, you're terrible at everything that you have added. I mean, if you were gonna do this fucking scene anyway, why didn't you just do it earlier in Camelin instead of what you did in the last episode? Oh, we wanted a fucking action scene. Dude, there are plenty of action scenes that were in the book that you could have done instead. What? Wait, he was looking at Matt? I was about to give the show props because I thought Logain was looking at Rand. And like, because he was a false dragon, that kind of indirectly connects him to the real dragon. Because in this story, when the dragon proclaims himself, all other false dragons, just the pattern has no room for them anymore, and they get taken. And that's what, that's pretty much what happens. So I thought that they were using that loose connection between a false dragon and the real dragon, and they were making Logain like laugh because he sees Rand. But then they focus in on Matt, and it's like, well, that just doesn't make any fucking sense, because Matt's whole thing is he's being taken over by the dagger from Shadar Logoth. There's no connection there. I guess never mind. I don't know. I guess Matt was just seeing things. I was that close from thinking, wow, that was actually kind of a cool writing choice. It wasn't from the book, but I kind of like it. That close. And now we are going to be spending a whole bunch of time with a depressed guy who was supposed to already be dead before the events of the Eye of the World. This guy, Steppen, is very depressed because his Isedai was killed, and now we get to spend a whole bunch of time with him. That sounds like fun, right? Let's do that. Let's do that instead of developing the main characters.
Haven't worn white since my father's funeral. I hated him, you know. After he died, I used to go out pissed drunk before I even got to the bar. Fight the smallest, weakest guy in there. Then I started picking on people who could fight back, half hoping they would just put a stop to me. That's when I met Karins. She just laughed at me.
She told me that my penis was very small, which it is. It's very small. Nobody cares. I'm trying to think of another scene where one of our main characters has had a character moment like that informs us about who they are, or what kind of a person they are. And the only thing I can think of is the scene in Shadar Logoth when Matt gives Perrin the dagger that his non-existent wife, who's dead because he killed her like a dumb fuck, made. And he says,
You seem to think if you ever got into any trouble, it'd probably be my fault. Although, to be perfectly honest, I can't see how anyone could reasonably blame me for any of this.
Remember that? That little tiny little moment where I was like, well, that was actually kind of cool. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, what else is there? I don't know. Nothing big. Tam telling Rand that his mom was a fucking drunk and drank all the fucking apple brandy.
And the brandy. That stayed home. Your mother could drink.
And that's why he was never able to deliver it to Emmons Field, because his mom would drink it all. I don't know. Does that count? Everybody else just gets kind of glossed over. Everybody else is just like an instrument to advance the plot. And it just makes me mad that this character who shouldn't even be here is getting more character development than the main characters.
Somehow we became friends.
Skip.
When she needed a walk,
Skip.
could have had anybody she wanted, but
Skip.
knew I wasn't worthy.
Skip.
She just rolled her eyes at me, and that.
Skip.
And I had to become worthy of.
Skip. Like all of this shit is made up. Why are they washing her? Just so you know, that didn't happen in the book. This is all Rafe Judkins' imagination. So, oh, cool. Another scene where this guy eats. I loved the last one.
Hello, darkness, my...
Okay. I don't want to do this anymore.
Bring him in.
I think they just think that, like, if the bad guy is eating, that's like a writing trick or something to make your bad guy look more evil.
Hands.
Yeah, you can get out of that.
One of those witches once told me that you don't actually need your hands to channel, that the use of the hands of any motions or words is just a crap.
That is so much worse than just changing the magic system. Because now you've tortured and killed an Isedai, and she let you do it because she needed her hands. Dude, no, I'm sorry. If you are getting tortured and burned alive and you can stop it with your mind, no, fuck you. No. I'm pretty sure a woman like that wouldn't pass the test to become an Aes Sedai in the first place, because that's a huge weakness. Okay. Why does he think that Egwene can channel? Like, that's what I want to know. Because if it's just because she's a woman and there's a man with her, then why didn't he assume that Moiraine, who was wearing an Aes Sedai uniform and had a fighting man with a sword on his back with her, wasn't an Aes Sedai? Like, why did he just fondle her a little bit and then let them go?
But you can touch the one power. I know you can.
You literally have no reason to think that. The best reason that he's given to think that she's anything is that
the light must have brought you before me for a reason. Twice.
That's it. That's his entire reason. This is fucking stupid. So he's just torturing them for no reason. He gets lucky because, yes, she can channel. Oh my God. Okay, well, that's what's wrong with this scene. It's retarded. Once again. More shit that's just retarded. I'm just gonna move past it.
That's the only thing I have left of her. The pain.
You know, some of these lines aren't that bad. Too bad they're spending all of their writing energy on a character who isn't even part of this story.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? What?
You have a square face. It's a box face. She's got a box face. That's what she's got. Dude. What is that belt? You know, I've seen 5 episodes now. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the costume design in this show is ass. I don't think it's very good.
They're almost as old as the tower itself, representing the tens of thousands of men
Who cares? I don't give a fuck.
Women hold the one power, but men still control much of this world, and they are rarely kind to little girls who show a spark of being greater than they are.
Okay. There it is. Men are evil. Again. Yeah. Well, that's just going to be an ongoing theme. You suck. I think you suck. I don't like you. I think you're a dick. Yeah. Step away from Wheel of Time and maybe trip and fall and hurt your foot.
What you doing knocking like you the damn police?
Grand Alpha, did you know that Ogier have access to the White Tower grounds. I went there and found the woman you spoke of.
Okay, I guess Nynaeve's here now. When did Rand speak of Nynaeve?
A girl I know used to read this book every day. I came to Tarvalon because she was heading to the White Tower, but what's going on?
You got the wrong woman. Clearly, he was talking about Egwene, not Nynaeve. But he also didn't give you a name. Literally, all you had was the fact that Rand is from the Two Rivers. And you knew about their tradition of braiding hair. Like, the Two Rivers isn't just Emmons Field. There's Terran Ferry, there's Devon Ride, Watch Hill. They all braid their hair. You didn't even have a description. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's bad writing, okay? This was obviously just thrown in because you needed this scene to happen and you didn't give a fuck how you got there.
I think he can channel.
So Rafe Judkins is trying to throw people who didn't read the books off the scent, which is fine if you are really dumb and didn't think of the very real fact that most of the people who are watching this series are watching it because they're fans of the book series. So basically, you're throwing the book series fans these little tiny scraps and whispers of the books while catering to a very niche part of the audience, non-book fans. And among them, only like people who would appreciate representation and feminism and that kind of thing. So your actual target audience, evidenced by what I've seen so far, is actually like 5 people. And in the process, you are destroying, raping, defiling, deconstructing my favorite book series. Good. Glad we were able to talk about that.
I know Moraine said we should come to her at the White Tower. I don't know if we can trust her. We saw what the Isedai did to the false dragon.
What were you expecting an Aes Sedai to do to a false dragon? Buy him an ice cream cone? I don't know. I guess I'll explain it to you. For 3,000 years, men who can channel go mad and destroy things around them. So the Aes Sedai capture and gentle them. And when it's a false dragon, they parade him through the streets in all the major cities to show the people of those cities that the man who can channel is no longer a threat.
I haven't seen her in a month now.
She's alive. You know, when Egwene was little, barely 10, her parents brought her to us. She had an infection already set into her muscles. They were cramping so badly that her legs were bent backwards on themselves. That's why they call it breakbone fever.
Yeah, he knows why they call it breakbone fever. He lives in the same village as you. It doesn't make any sense for her to be telling Rand this. In the book, this conversation happens between Nynaeve and Moiraine during a scene where Moiraine is convincing Nynaeve that she actually can channel and that she needs to learn at the White Tower. But I guess this is... I don't know what you're doing, dude. This doesn't... It's fine. It's this is probably the best part of the episode. Just... You know, it's just, if you're going to do it anyway, why not put it where it goes?
The old wisdom, she didn't know what to do. So she started making a tea to ease her passing. And she didn't cry, not once. And she refused the wisdom's tea. In the morning, the fever had broken, not her.
Sounds about right.
Egwene is many things, but above all else, she's unbreakable.
Oh my god, she is unbreakable. She is so much more powerful than any man, woman, ever. Oh my god, ever. Oh my god. Except that she is breakable. She got broken. Eamon Valda broke her. He was trying to get her to channel and she did it. That's getting broken. She broke. She's breakable. There you go. Dumb fuck. You can't even get your girl power bullshit right. That's how bad you are. The thing that you're trying to do that sucks, you can't even do that right. You fucked that up too. I hate, I don't want to do it. No, I got this. It's good. No.
I killed her.
No, Layla's death was not your fault.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. You killed her like a dumb fuck. Thanks, Rafe. Thanks a lot, dude.
This is what I deserve.
Yup. Pretty much.
Very well. No decision is still a decision. Eventually, the boy will bleed out.
I mean, I guess if you're just going to keep going down this road, I guess we'll see where it leads. I don't know. This whole scene is bullshit. I don't know. I thought he was going to, like, his eyes started to turn yellow. I thought he was going to, like, call in the wolves and they were going to come in and, like, help him. But that's not what happens. Egwene starts a channel, and then that's what stops Valda from torturing him.
Protect me.
Kill him.
What are you?
What? Perrin doesn't even get to kill him? So you're doing the scene that you said you didn't have time for.
A really important scene, particularly if you're going to cut the White Cloaks thing that he just doesn't have time for.
And then you completely ruin the entire scene because instead of doing all the cool shit that led up to it, you just have Valda like notice them with the fucking Tinkers who they shouldn't even still have been with. And then when you do the scene that you said you weren't going to do, the whole reason for making Perrin into a wife murderer, you don't even have Perrin kill a White Cloak. That would have at least contributed to Perrin's story. Well, he's doing it on purpose. He has to be. There's no other explanation. He's deliberately subverting the source material. Why are you stealing that? Why don't you finish him off? Now he's gonna be in the show still. Why didn't you have the wolves come in and fucking save him? How do you miss all of the opportunities?
You won't hurt us.
You sure about that?
Where is Nynaeve?
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Safely hidden away, I assume.
No doubt she's resting after her long journey.
Why does it feel like Leandrin is the only other Isedai? I know we've met other Isedai, but it really just feels like Leandrin is the only other Isedai. You did some work with Karins. You did some work with Alana. You killed Karins, which fine, whatever. She's not supposed to be here anyway. But like you could have had her be somebody else and then not killed her. Whatever. I hate you. But I don't think any of the other Aes Sedai have lines. And it's not like you don't have material to draw from, because you do. It's the books.
You look a little worse for wear too.
What are you doing? The fuck was that? I don't like you. I think you're dumb. Whatever, I'm just gonna move past that.
Not many people still make offerings to ward off the Foresaken.
These belong to my mother.
Is that the first mention of the Foresaken in the whole show so far? It's like, I'm so tired. Like, somebody tried with this character. Somebody actually tried with this character's arc. Couldn't you have done that with the real characters and apply it throughout the entire show instead of just in this one little instance?
When a warrior loses his Aes Sedai, the pain is so deep. It's almost like he's swallowed her death.
Yeah. She knows because she's an Aes Sedai. Why are we dealing with the way warders deal with the death of their Aes Sedai right now? In the first book, that doesn't happen. So you can't say that we're dealing with it so that we know what the stakes are, because we're not going to have to deal with it in the first season. What we could do is we could deal with it next season, you know.
I got word that the Amelin's returning from Camelin. She summoned us to the hall to answer for Logain.
Assuming that the Red Aja is not authorized to gentle a man in self-defense, which would be dumb, and I don't think that's true, but let's just assume that that is true. Why isn't the Amerlin seat in the White Tower? Why isn't she there? If she's in Camelin, why didn't you go to Camelin, where you were supposed to go in the first place? You were supposed to go to... It would have taken less time for you to go to Camelin too, which would mean that the Two Rivers people would be out there in the wilderness, ripe for the plucking for a much smaller amount of time, because Tar Valon is like the same distance from Camelin as Camelin was from Shadar Logoth, where you got separated in the first place. So you effectively doubled the amount of time that you made the Two Rivers people have to fend for themselves, while Moiraine doesn't give a fuck. He's just...
For someone who's rarely in the tower, you have two very powerful enemies here.
Two very powerful enemies? You said Leandrin. Who's the other one? Surely you don't mean Swan Sanche, Moiraine's childhood friend and confidant, the only other person besides Lan who knows what she's really up to, because they've been in it together since they were novices. And I know you've read New Spring because you're stealing characters from that book. I mean, I don't know what I expect at this point. This is the standard. It's never going to stop pissing me off. I might get numb to it, like a jaded hooker. I mean, add this to the list of things that Lan does in the show that Lan would literally never do. He's not a talker. He's not a toucher. He doesn't fucking make faces. He's like the definition of stoicism and masculinity. But of course, they had to feminize him and make him cry and make him fucking, oh, let me touch your shoulders. Oh, you're my friend. I'm just, let me give you a hug from behind. By the way, guys don't hug each other from behind, okay? It's gay. They don't do it, all right? Your dick's gonna be too close to the butt. It's gay. Oh, dude, this is why women and gay guys shouldn't try to write masculine men. Because you make them all gay. Ew, look at her feet. Oh. Damn, bitch, wear some socks. You don't get to have bare feet anymore. You clearly have been wearing boots for like 45 hours. Get her like a fucking pedicure before you do the scene where she doesn't wear shoes. Not to mention, she took her shoes off in Moiraine's room. She came to Moiraine's room with a tray of food and kicked off her fucking boots and apparently she wasn't wearing any kind of socks or anything because, I mean, and she starts eating on her bed. Dude, if I was Moiraine, I'd be like, what are you doing? This is my room. Go to your room. It's fine. It's whatever. But here's the thing. Now she has to carry her shoes and the tray. You couldn't have just cut around this, by the way. You couldn't have just like cut away. You had to show her leaving. This is just bad filmmaking at this point. You're retarded. You have bad ideas. Why do you exist? Just I'm okay. I'm fine. Lan is drinking tea and sitting on the ground like a little girl at a slumber party. Oh, let's just sit on the ground. Let's dish. Dude. Okay, look, you got chairs. I know you have chairs. Why do they sit on the ground? It's fine. It's whatever. Look, there's a chair right there. Also, none of this happened in the books. None of it. Not a single thing. Yeah, so he roofied you. Probably who knows what else he did in this version of the show. Who fucking knows? Oh god, shit. Oh man, I got a headache and my butthole hurts. Yeah. I don't care. I completely resented your existence the whole time you were here. I'm glad you're dead. Actually, I wasn't listening to anything that you were saying because you don't exist. And now, of course, Lan's gonna cry and freak out, which is completely unlike him, even if he had a friend who died. And this happens in the story. There's precedent for this. He doesn't do the freaky outy cry bullshit stuff. He does the Uberman thing and just sucks it up and pushes it down. He doesn't do the cry thing, okay? It's Lan. You don't get more man than Lan.
Lay your hand on him.
I want you to abort the mission immediately.
I'm done. That's not Lan. That's Kevin Smith or something. That's not Lan. Fuck you. And all that for a character who doesn't exist. Well, I managed to get through the entire episode. This show is it's great. It's good. It's great. There's nothing wrong with the show. It's I was just kidding about all of it. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank you guys for all the support from the last episode. Last episode did way better than I thought it was going to. That was awesome. You guys rule. Thanks. My voice is fucked. If you want a place to come and talk about this kind of stuff, join the Discord. All my links are in the description. Babadook. My cat is being a nerd. This marks the end of what I've seen so far. So episode 6 will be a fresh watch for me. I don't know, wish me luck. And yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 6. Peace. I fucking hate you. Why are her boots? What? Why did he take her boots? So that in the afterlife she's gonna walk around barefoot? Ugh, it's just so lame, dude. I'm crying. I'm burying my chest. Look at my chest. Bro, would you like a sanitary napkin? Do you want a hug? Do you need a hug, Lanny Bear? You pussy. Fucking shit. That was episode 5. I don't know anymore.